Hi there, welcome back to the Convergence or Sovereignty series. I'm Jamie Rice, the developer of the science of Poli-Si, an acronym for Policing Science Systems, Thought, and Consciousness, and the Poli-Si Sovereign Resonant Formalism. The formalism is a blueprint for operationalizing consciousness and biofield mechanics, and the science of Poli-Si is a map for bridging consciousness towards organic life systems in support of sovereignty. So it is basically a self-governing, active learning, defense and response model of thought processed through an active listening, self-propagating, non-dual somatic program language for mind, brain, heart, nervous system, free will coherence. So this video is titled Catching the Charge and Installing the Sovereign Navigation System. So the entire Convergence or Sovereignty series is to give you the tools to protect your neurocognitive anatomical rights in a digital world that is rapidly merging synthetic biology with your biology. So if you don't understand how your cellular communication actually works, your system can be influenced without ever realizing it. So the world right now is very disharmonious and chaotic. A lot of people are feeling something deep within themselves, but they don't know how to properly name it yet. And then there's others who are well aware of what's happening in the world, but they're very caught up in the pain of the truth, and it has started to consume them. So instead of trying to control the outer chaos, Poli-Si teaches us to focus on the one thing that we actually can control, our own internal responses. So this is very powerful work that begins with radical self-accountability. So today we're going to slow down. We're going to look at what's really happening inside of you the moment a charge gets triggered. So every single cell in your body is in constant intelligent conversation through bioelectric voltage gradients, biophoton light pulses, and quantum vibrations inside the microtubules of every cell. That's your true cellular communication network. The moment that any charge gets triggered, an original charge split fires. That instantly activates the dipole algorithm, the primal survival program that locks polarity into your system. So these charges are carried through the lost, broken, stolen, rejected, and forgotten aspects of ourselves. These are the low self-worth fears, the I'm not enough wounds, the parts that learn to survive by shrinking or overprotecting. They frequently show up as anxiety spikes or depressive poles. So it's like the old story of the frog and the scorpion. The scorpion stings the frog mid-river, even though both of them are going to drown because it's in my nature. So that's the dipole algorithm running on autopilot. The salience network immediately flags that charge signal as hyper-relevant and screams, "This is life or death. Pay attention right now." That single decision strengthens the survival loop, narrows your attention, pulls you into all or nothing thinking patterns, and hijacks your delta gamma coupling. So the unconscious and subconscious mind cannot discern between a real and a perceived threat. It simply registers everything as all or nothing. That's exactly why we begin tracking these all or nothing thinking patterns and biases right from the start. So consciousness itself functions multidimensionally through time, space, gravity, physics, polarity, vibrational mechanics, and predictive models of thought. The mind is constantly stuck between past and future thinking patterns, short and long-term thinking processes, between the default mode network and the executive brain function. So that's exactly why we work at the salience network, so we can catch the charge at the veto window and use consciousness bridging to reconnect all those layers. So here's a quick way to feel this right now. Take a breath and notice any charges in your body. Ask yourself, does this feel warm, expanded, or rooted in my own field? Or does this have a tight, urgent, foreign quality that doesn't quite match my rhythm? So that simple somatic question is how you start telling an organic charge from an inorganic one in real time. So if we could truly understand this as a species, we could move past mental illness, disease, chronic pain, addiction, survival stress, codependency, and trauma. because what we call symptoms are actually our own operating system trying to communicate with us. So this work isn't about protecting ourselves from biodigital convergence. It's actually about reconnecting with our innate architecture, the original design of how the mind, brain, heart, nervous system, and free will choice should function as a unified field. So this is where the mirror protocol and the observer, observe, witness triad and the reverse voltage formula become so powerful. They give us the exact tools to catch that charge, reroute our awareness into the navigation system, which is basically our awareness, perceptions, intentions, motivations, and behaviors. Then we can begin consciousness bridging from the 0-point unified field straight into our cellular and quantum layers. So we also study the personality and our unconscious default defense mechanisms and our survival responses, because all the answers live inside the personality, shaping our behaviors. So much of the time we're unconsciously seeking permission, approval, validation, and agreement from outside ourselves, from other people, systems, authorities, or even the matrix itself. That seeking keeps the dipole algorithm running and keeps us handing over our sovereign guidance system. So this moment, catching the charge inside the veto window and routing it into the navigation system, is actually the first stage of 6 resonant stages. They're discovery, validation, generation, evaluation, handoff, and sync. But this is the entry point that makes the mirror protocol and the helix of sovereignty and everything else in the series actually usable. So that single practice, catching the charge, feeling the difference between organic and inorganic, and front loading the navigation system is the foundation of everything else in the series that we're going to build on. So let's move into a short guided journey. Let's go ahead and close your eyes. Take a slow, full breath in. Let it go. Give me another breath. So let's begin with a gentle sensory scan from the crown of your head all the way down to your toes. Let's notice any tension, tightness, contraction, or charge anywhere in your body. Simply locate it. There's no need to fix it yet. Just sense where it lives. Now let's step into the observer. Watch the sensation with pure neutral awareness. No story, no judgment, no observation. Or actually just observation. No story or judgment, just observation. All right, let's shift into the witness. Hold that soft 0-point presence. Rest in the neutral space before any reaction arises. Now let's bring in the mirror protocol. Reflect that charge back to yourself and gently ask, is this mine? Or is this something I've been carrying that doesn't belong to me? Now let's move through the process. Sense the raw signal exactly as it is. Let's probe gently where it's rooted. Let's ask ourselves, what does this feel like in space and time? Let's categorize it. Does it feel organic, rooted in my own field? Or does it carry a foreign, tight, or urgent quality? Now let's respond from the navigation system. Breathe slowly into the tension. Let's feel the energy shift. Let the tension soften, dissolve, and release with an exhale. Stay in the witness. Let the mirror continue to reflect clearly. Notice how your body begins to settle in a more coherent, open state. So you now hold the living key. Every time a charge arises, you have the power to catch it in the veto window. Feel the difference between inorganic and organic energy. Front load your consciousness and your navigation system. This single practice is the foundation of everything we're building in the Convergence or Sovereignty series. Use it daily. The more you do, the more automatic it becomes, and the stronger your consciousness bridge grows, reconnecting you with your innate architecture and protecting your neurocognitive anatomical rights from the inside. I'll see you in the next workshop. Until then, stay sovereign, stay coherent, and remember, the biofield is always listening. Front load sovereignty, align with the forensic truth, commit to the spiral, use the map. All of the answers are inside of you. Take care, and I'll talk to you soon.